Chris Cornell, monster, let us pray. Dear Lord, thank you for all the wonderful info you've been revealing through your children. Forgive us our sins. We acknowledge your Son, Jesus Christ. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen. Okay, it seems we have greater detail about the Argento text messages and who turned them in and why. And I kind of gathered that from Rose McGowan's statement the other day. Who turned them in and why? I do have one question though. Why weren't the texts turned in immediately? Immediately. Asia was admitting that she slept with a 17-year-old, and that's illegal. Why weren't they turned in immediately? Anyway, here's what the article looks like. Rain Dove, Asia Argento called me a monster for turning over texts to police. Rain Dove, the model Rose McGowan named in her statement on Monday, confirmed giving investigators a series of text messages in which Asia Argento allegedly admitted to a sexual encounter with a minor. I did it because it's just the right thing to do, Dove, who prefers non-gendered pronouns, told Fox News on Wednesday. I gave this person the opportunity to be honest, and they chose not to be, and I didn't want to be complicit, so I turned them into the police, the 28-year-old explained. Why give them any chance at all? Why not just turn them in? According to Dove, the text message exchange started when Argento reached out on the day before the New York Times article was published. In the bombshell report, Argento was accused by child star Jimmy Bennett of setting up a sexual encounter with him in California in 2013 when he was 17 and she was 37. The legal age of consent in California is 18. It basically said, I'm in deep shit. I just barely got this message that, like, I'm going to be sunk, recalled Dove of the initial message. When the New York Times reached out to Argento and her reps for comment on the coming report, Dove advised the actress how to respond according to the outlet. I talked to her and asked her how much of it was BS and how much of it was real, and she said she was completely 100% innocent, and she just wanted to get back on track to being an activist in the community, Dove told Fox News. So I offered to help walk her through the process of what she would need in order to clear her name. No, that's not really what happened. She literally admitted she slept with the boy in the text messages. And then Rain Dove talked about angles and stuff like that. Not so innocent is what I'm trying to say. The conversation wasn't so innocent. It wasn't just Rain Dove listening, to Asia talk this stuff. It was Rain Dove attempting to also figure out angles on how they could deal with it or make it go away. Dove went on to explain that during the process, while asking Argento questions, it became increasingly apparent that this individual was not only not telling the truth, but that they didn't intend on ever telling the truth to the public. By the end of it, we went from never slept with anyone and did not do anything to I slept with this person. I've received nude images from them for years and didn't report them and or ask them to stop. And I've continued my communications with this person in a sexual manner. Dove emphasized again that they gave Argento a chance, letting the 42-year-old know that they felt very strongly that she should do something about it. She should say something and try and live up to her own ethos. However, 2 days after the New York Times article was published, Argento released a statement denying the accusations, saying in a statement given to reporter Yashar Ali, "I strongly deny and oppose the contents of the New York Times article dated 20 August 2018, as circulated also in national and international news. I am deeply shocked and hurt by having read news that is absolutely false. I have never had any sexual relationship with Bennett." Dove said they turned the text messages over to the police so as not to rob Bennett of his truth, or the New York Times journalist who published the report of her integrity. Dove also said they wanted Argento to be able to stand behind the same truth that she demanded other people had. This wasn't a revenge thing, a punishment or life lesson, Dove said. Nothing. Noting that in the long run, it will be better for Argento to go through due process. Let me tell you what this was. This was a person that was, in the beginning, attempting to help Argento make this shit go away. Then they realized, oh shit, if I don't turn these messages in, it's going to look like I'm complicit. That's what it came down to. Otherwise, the second she received the messages and Argento admitted to things, she would have turned them in. In other words, it wasn't till the shit hit the fucking fan where the messages turned in. That's when they got turned in. So this little Miss Innocent Act, or They Innocent Act, whatever the person prefers to be called, I ain't buying it. If she's able to come back and really remedy with the community, I think it's going to make her a stronger ally for the Me Too movement, Dove explained, adding, "She'll be one of the rare faces who not only has been a victim, but has been the accused, and she can bridge a gap. But in order for that to happen, she has to own up to her own actions. That's never going to happen. The Me Too movement is done with Argento. So is Rose McGowan. She's fucked. There's not going to be any Asia Argento coming back into the movement as accuser and accused. That's bullshit. It's bullshit." Dove said they turned over the messages to the police quietly and asked McGowan, 44, who introduced them, to stay silent about it as well. Then somebody leaked it to the press, and a lot of speculation swirled about who was the mysterious friend, aka that was me, but nobody knew who it was, said Dove, explaining that a few others were blamed as Asia's friend, and that's why Dove decided to speak up. "I realized that I wanted to stay silent and anonymous, but unfortunately people were getting injured in the process. So I only came forward to take responsibility for that. So that way there wasn't going to be any further harm to other people's lives over something that was my doing." Dove continued, "I spoke to Argento after the text got leaked and she was convinced Rose and I had leaked the text messages. But of course, in fact, we did not." The model said, "They did tell Argento they turned over the messages. I told her that. I have to be honest with you. I brought them to the police. She said that I'm a monster." Dove added, "I just told her that in order for there to be justice, there has to be truth, and that justice will find its way. But you have to have the truth on the table." And she was really angry at that. A rep for Argento did not immediately respond to Fox News' request for a comment. On Wednesday, Dove also released a lengthy statement on Twitter, which read, "I can confirm that the text messages are indeed between Asia Argento and myself." The statement continued, "When I reported them to police, I remained silent socially because I didn't wish to be a part of the narrative or distract from the path to justice." Nah, I don't think that's the reason. "While the conflict may feel murky, the situation is cut and dry," they added. "An individual admitted to sexual engagement with a minor according to the age stated by California which is an illegal act that can qualify as statutory rape. As well as such, they admitted to receiving continued nude images without reporting, blocking the account, written rejection, or action. Okay, that's a great point. Why weren't they turned over immediately then? That's my question. When the individual made it clear that they were not going to be honest about their engagement, I turned in the materials that may contribute toward an honest investigation, Dove explained. All victims deserve justice. Justice can rarely exist without honesty. Dove went on to say that Argento asked for assistance during the case, declaring full innocence. So Dove systematically took them through the list of things they would need to clear their name. However, after explaining that they need to have the intention to do what's necessary to rectify a situation, Dove shared that the actress did not have that intention. This is a person who represents a certain ideal and who has called out for all those accused of sexual assault to be honest about their experiences in order to allow justice for the victims, Dove said. However, when the NYT statement came out, in which Asia denied any sexual engagement, that's when it became clear that they were not going to follow their own ethics. Dove revealed that Argento sent the original statement to them before it became public and before she allegedly had admitted their sexual engagement. In it, they were dismissive of the victim, put down the integrity of the reporter Kim Severson, utilizing the guilt power of the opinion of their deceased former partner, Anthony Bourdain, and robbed all parties of their truth, Dove said of Argento's statement, adding that it was painful to read. Dove continued, I had hoped that the narrative would change after our conversation, but unfortunately, the piece went straight to the press. The model explained that before they brought the information they had to the police, they spoke with McGowan. I was admittedly a little nervous because I knew that Asia was an important person in Rose's life. Dove said, noting, when confronted with the messages and knowledge that I was going to go to the police, Rose immediately agreed that it was the right action to take. No begging or bargaining, no anger, just very matter of fact. They shared. I know this is a painful loss of community in Rose's life, and I'm proud of her dedication to the truth. It's tempting to many to cover for their loved ones during rough times, but when a victim is involved on the other end, we must think of them. True justice has no bias. Last week, Bennett, now 22, broke his silence in a statement obtained by Deadline saying, I did not initially speak out about my story because I chose to handle it in private with the person who wronged me. My trauma resurfaced as she came out as a victim herself. I have not made a public statement in the past days and hours because I was ashamed and afraid to be part of the public narrative. On August 19, the New York Times reported, citing court documents, that Argento paid roughly $380,000 to Bennett after he confronted her regarding the alleged sexual encounter that took place in 2013 in a California hotel room. In the documents, Bennett sought to sue Argento for the alleged encounter at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Marina del Rey, California. At that time, Bennett allegedly showed him notes she had previously written to him and gave him alcohol. She then reportedly kissed him, pushed him back on the bed, performed oral sex on him, and then the two had intercourse. Last Wednesday, TMZ published a photo and text messages that appeared to contradict Argento's claim that nothing sexual happened between she and Bennett. The celebrity gossip site reported that the photo of Argento and Bennett, in which they both appeared topless, was taken in a hotel room back in 2013. Citing sources, TMZ reported that the photo was taken after intercourse. Yeah, I would say the photo was taken after intercourse, just by the looks on their faces, especially her face. She just looks utterly euphoric, doesn't she? Post-coital euphoria. TMZ also published text messages reportedly between Argento and one of her friends last week, in which a person the site claimed was Argento admitted to having sex with a minor. It was unclear how TMZ obtained the photo and alleged conversation. All right, I'm going to read you quickly a piece of another article, and then I'm going to read you the full statement by Rain Dove. because it also has that here. They probably cited most of it in the article, but I just want to read the statement on its own. But let's go to that other article quickly. This is by Vox.com. This is what it looks like. The sexual assault allegations against Me Too advocate Asia Argento explained. I'm just going to read you one little piece. Nearly a year after the New York report, Argento is now the one accused. Jimmy Bennett, a 22-year-old actor and musician, says Argento sexually assaulted him when he was 17. Bennett threatened to sue. I'm just looking for the part. Maybe it's back up here, forgive me. Here's the part. Forgive the pause. In 2013, when Bennett was 17 and Argento was 37, a family member drove him to meet Argento at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Marina del Rey, California, according to the documents. Argento asked the family member to leave, gave Bennett alcohol, and performed oral sex on him, the documents say. Then she climbed on top of him and had intercourse with him. The age of consent in California at the time was 18. So, my point is, by reading you this piece of the article, Bennett was 17 years old. A family member drove him to the hotel. The family member was probably a little bit excited about meeting Argento as well, I imagine. But Argento sent the family member away. What does that say? It says she wanted to be alone with the boy. And remember her one post saying she was awaiting his arrival, Mr. Bennett's arrival, with such trepidation that she was chain-smoking cigarettes like there was no next week. So not only do we have that post, we also have it here in this article that she sent the family member away. This wasn't some casual meeting after, not seeing each other for a while. Some innocent kind of mother-son type love. No, she's like, I want to hang with the boy, not you, other family member. You can go now. This is alone time with me and young Mr. Bennett. You have no part in this. Just go ahead and leave. I want to be alone with Jimmy. That's what she was saying. That's what she was thinking. Now back to the other article and Rain Dove's full statement. The statement takes you to Twitter. If you click on the statement in the article, then you click on the statement itself. Here's what the statement looks like. Yes, I'm going to read it to you. As soon as sorry, it keeps reloading on me. Before I begin, I would like to note to everyone that I am only making a statement in order to clarify the details, in order to prevent further stress of harm from rumors or allegations to/against innocent parties. It is important to not over-glorify or sensationalize the actions of any individual who comes forward with evidence in a sexual assault case, because it is the basic thing one should do. I can confirm that the text messages are indeed between Asia Argento and myself. When I reported them to police, I remained silent socially because I didn't wish to be a part of the narrative or distract from the path to justice. While the conflict may feel murky, the situation is cut and dry. An individual admitted to sexual engagement with a minor, according to the age stated by California, which is an illegal act that can qualify as statutory rape. As well as such, they admitted to receiving continued nude images without reporting, blocking the account, written rejection, or action. When the individual made it clear that they were not going to be honest about their engagement, I turned in materials that may contribute toward an honest investigation. All victims deserve justice. Justice can rarely exist without honesty. In a sexual assault case, it is important to support and believe the victim while also allowing for due process. I believe all beings accused of a crime, all beings. There we go with that beings word again, huh? Oh, well. I believe all beings accused of a crime have the right to prove their innocence. For many victims of sexual assault, their justice may never come in the court of law due to lack of evidence or time passage. It's heartbreaking and cruel. However, I still fully believe in the allowance and balance of both ethos. Support and believe allow due process. That is why when Asia Argento asked for assistance during this case, declaring full innocence, I systematically took them through the list of things they would need to clear their name. Proof that they didn't pay off this individual, proof that they didn't approve any payments if they had occurred, proof that they had indeed been harassed and rejected all sexual advances through action or verbally, proof that they hadn't engaged sexually via an alibi, and a few more. Occasionally in the past, individuals have come to me knowing that they were guilty. They admitted the guilt off the bat, and my space in their life has been guiding them through the rehabilitation process with the community and shifting their negative actions into proactive ones so that they can be productive members of the community again while justice also prevails. The key to agreement to assist is that they have the intention to do what's necessary to rectify a situation. Unfortunately, Asia did not have that intention. This is a person who represents a certain ideal and who was called out for all those accused of sexual assault to be honest about their experiences in order to allow justice for the victims. However, when the NYT statement came out in which Asia denied any sexual engagement, that's when it became clear that they were not going to follow their own ethics. I had received the original statement from Asia before they put it out into the world, before they had admitted their sexual engagement. In it, they were dismissive of the victim, put down the integrity of the reporter, Kim Severson, utilizing the guilt power of the opinion of their deceased former partner, Anthony Bourdain, and robbed all parties of their truth. It was painful to read. I had hoped that narrative would change after our conversation, but unfortunately, the piece went straight to the press. Before bringing this information to police, I did speak with Rose, as they are the person who introduced me to Asia. Why? Why not just turn it in, like I said? If crime is crime, right? I was admittedly a little nervous because I knew that Asia was an important person in Rose's life. When confronted with the messages and knowledge that I was going to go to the police, Rose immediately agreed that it was the right action to take. No begging or bargaining, no anger, just very matter of fact. I know this is a painful loss of community in Rose's life, and I'm proud of her dedication to the truth. It's tempting to many to cover for their loved ones during rough times, but when a victim is involved on the other end, we must think of them. True justice has no bias. I would also like to address allegations that Jimmy Bennett extorted Asia Argento by saying simply, keep both actions separate. They are two different accusations, and all victims of a crime deserve justice. All guilty parties must be honest. So she's saying she believes that. Sounds like it. I would also like to state that the case between Harvey Weinstein and Asia Argento is separate from Jimmy Bennett's case, and that Asia deserves the same respect in that case that Jimmy should receive in this one. Their choice to lie to the NYT does not mean that they are lying about Harvey Weinstein. Their accounts for that case should be held separately and fairly. I believe that most beings, there's that beings word again, have the power to change. Asia has contributed a strong voice to the Me Too movement and encouraged many in their nation as well as around the globe to come forward with their truths, perhaps despite where public opinion may be over time. Through honesty, dialogue, and rehabilitation, this person can become a strong advocate for justice once again, especially uniquely as a person who is experiencing both sides of the coin. We cannot let this single case crumble the power and momentum of a movement that has saved so many and made Rose McGowan a lot of money. Oh no, I added that part. No, never mind. Just because a person in a celebrity or more visible... Just because a person is a celebrity or more visible does not make them the voice of a more important voice than any other being that has been a part of Me Too. All are equal and their struggles equally valid. We must remember that. Until then, let truth shine its light so we can see the way to a solution. Keep that light on patiently. I don't even know what to say. But my main question for the 8th time is, why didn't you turn the shit in immediately? Why did you call Rose up? Because in your statement here, it sounds like you're saying it's cut and dry. A crime was committed. The shit should have been turned in. What'd you need to speak to anyone for? And when I read those text messages between you and Argento, I didn't get the Miss Innocent or they innocent kind of feeling. I got the feeling that you were looking for angles. And that's your own word that you used in the messages. But they, the being that is reigned of, would like you to believe that they are Miss Innocent, or, excuse me, I keep messing up with the pronouns, that they are they innocent. I'm not necessarily buying that so much. I'm leaning towards the shit hit the fan and they decided, I don't want to go down with Asia Argento, so let me turn these fucking messages in before it gets revealed that I'm the person she was talking to, and before I get blamed for being complicit in some way. That's what it feels like to me. And let me just say this. People, please, don't treat the PayPal like a stepchild. Let's keep going with this. Please help support this. I think we've made quite the impact. How about you? Peace be ever with thee.